Hello, good evening, sort of, and welcome to another exciting episode of Goth Yearbook. It is I, your host, as always, Eric, aka the Eric Wynn, and with me, as always, is that hostess with the mostest, Caitlin, aka the Caitlin D. Caitlin, how is it 3 days moving?
Oh, it's good. Yes, I found out I had to move like 4 days ago, and I moved like 2 days ago. So I am very tired, but I'm doing well. I'm like actually really good. It was all for the best. It was just really like one of those things where I don't know. You find out you have to move tomorrow, basically, and you just have to do it. I didn't have a place in mind, but everything worked out really well. And so, I say to my old house, suck it.
That's right. Suck it, old house. The new place is looking great. You've shown me a couple spots. It looks like Prince, and for maybe new listeners, Prince is Caitlin's cat. It looks like Prince has a lot of for the YouTubers. We get to even spy the little cutie. It looks like Prince gets a lot of roaming area.
He really does. Honestly, it's one of those things where like as soon as we got here, I was like, oh shit. Like he's gonna get used to this and think that this is just like our new lifestyle. And so I'm gonna have to start making like 10 times as much money because right now we're getting like a massive deal on our rent for reasons such as construction going on during the day, and it's wasn't really a property that was ready to be rented, and it's a friend's and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, this is not, well, I mean, it would be cool if this was the new lifestyle, but I have 4 months to figure it out how to, like really earn 3-bedroom family home level.
Prince is gonna be like, you're gonna be flying if you end up coming back to the States, if you end up coming back to Nashville, as we talked about in the last episode. Prince is gonna be like looking at you like this is some old bullshit.
He's gonna be like, where's my fucking balcony?
Where's my ocean?
Where's the ocean? Where are the jungle birds? Because also it is like, it's like Mexico, and there's just stylistically the houses here, there's so much more like open concept as far as like inside and outside, not necessarily like the interior design. And that's great, obviously, for cats, but literally we can't even close the doors upstairs to that massive balcony. So those doors are just open all the time. So if Prince gets bored at any point, he can just like wander up there and sort of like lay in the middle of this giant balcony under a mango tree and gaze out. It's pretty cool. And he's trying to like
lives a very good life.
He really does. Yeah. He truly does. Yeah. So we're all living a good life at the moment. So I'm #blessed, grateful.
Nice. For those of you who are listening, and maybe even if you're watching at home, you'll see like even the lighting is a little bit different. This is like a rare day. We're kind of doing like a little bit of an early quote unquote pre-record, kind of like a tentative live, but we'll be posting it tomorrow officially on the YouTube, like as like a big old to do because of
it's a Goth Yearbook matinee.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. It was funny before I get to our guests and why the whole reason why Caitlin and I. We tend to like, when I'm at work, at least at my day job, we tend to sometimes be messaging each other. We were talking about Married at First Sight and like the newest season. And I had to roll out of like work real fast to get to the, Goth Yearbook Studios. And I was delayed because I was like, all right, I'm about to head out mentally. And then you brought up Married at First Sight. And then all of a sudden I got like real serious about the conversation. I was like, oh no, Mark like was doing this.
Mark the Shark deserved better, but he also has avoidant tendencies. So really, did he call in someone like Lindsay? Yeah. I could talk about Married at First Sight all day long. I really don't watch, I tried watching the new episodes of Stranger Things, and it's kind of like you were saying in our conversation. It's like, it's such a cool aesthetic. It's such a cool vibe. I don't find the story to be that creative or compelling or even like worth the amount of effort it takes to follow,
Yeah.
So I just like, as soon as I was going to bed last night, I got a notification that the last episode of this season of Married at First Sight was aired, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Hell
That
yeah.
I could watch all day. That is a compelling storyline, if you ask me. People putting their whole fucking hearts on the line.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. Right now I do have to shout out producer Murph, aka Murph the dog. My dogs are not all my animals, my whole farm, the chickens, all of them. They're not used to me coming home during the daytime like this, and I feel so bad because like I can tell they're looking at me like you just walked in the door and you just sat down and you didn't like rub my butt. Like Murph, I wish I could turn my camera, but I can't. He looks wounded.
He's like,
He is very.
Like, what the fuck?
If this was Married at First Sight and it was decision day, he'd be walking like over me, not scratching his butt right now.
So I live with a dog, as you know now, and I came home and I had to take like one of those big water bottles, like the cap off, but the cap had melted on. So I was like cutting it off with a knife, and this dog was trying to like get in my face, and she's a big dog. And I was trying to like protect her. So I was pushing her away because I was like, I have a fucking knife in my hand, you know? And literally she went into, she's so dramatic. If you push her away like more than once, she goes to the corner of the room and acts like you just hit her, you know? And like, yeah, and she put her face towards the wall, and I was like, come on, like, it's okay. And I tried to go up and pet her. No tail wag, no acknowledgement. It took me like a couple of minutes to get her to even turn her head back towards me. And I was like, this is some wild shit. Like,
dogs can serve like real drama. Dogs know how to serve like a face that's just like wounded and like betrayed, like the way that most other animals can't. Like, you don't see otters, maybe they do, I don't know, but dogs, like, they really fucking knock it out of the park when they're just like,
I respect the game.
Yeah. You're like, I did where we're about to kind of segue over, but I am going to shout out real quickly. I started watching, since we're talking about the media digest, I started watching the Danny Boyle miniseries about the Sex Pistols. It's on the FX. I'm going to throw this out there. Danny Boyle, I love his work. Trainspotting, one of my favorites. 28 Days Later. Stylistically, it's great. The acting is actually very phenomenal. I wish I knew the guy's name, but I don't. But whoever's playing Johnny Rotten is like killing it. The dialogue is so like, I don't know. I don't want to. No shame. Like, it is what it is. But those music biopics, like, I love that they just can't help themselves from like having scenes where it's like literally the scene, and maybe it's true, but still, like, there's like a way where even if it happened in real life, there's like a more, I don't know, smooth way of doing it. But it's one of those things where the guy like who plays Sid Vicious, like, he's like feeding his hamster named Sid, and the hamster bites his finger, and he's like, Sid, you're so vicious. And it's like, oh, like, they keep like doing things like that throughout the whole thing, that like,
yeah.
But I love it. Like, I'm such a sucker for that kind of thing. Like well,
and that is kind of how, even if it's not exactly how like that worked, it is how it works. You know, like, I was
like, we've talked a million times about the Walk the Line, like how a lot of that movie, there's so much of that where it's just
yeah, I just rewatched Walk the Line, and like, I love that scene where like Reese Witherspoon, you know, June Carter comes and sees them, and they're like day drinking, and it's like her tour, and she's all pissed off, and she's like throwing beer bottles at them, and she's like, you can't walk no line.
Oh, I love it. I love those things, and there's always like that moment where they're like, say that again. What did you just say?
Like my one of my albums was titled Tender because I had this guitar amp that was Fender, and the F was broken, and it looked like it said Tender.
I never knew that. That's great.
Yeah, and it was just, you know, it's always dumb shit like that. So I think it's cool.
Well, I dig it, and watch it. I'm telling everyone right now, like, I think there's a lot of people that are going to be drinking the haterade saying like some poser shit to check it out. I say nay. I say check it out. The acting in it especially is like really worth it to check it out. But on that note, I think now is the perfect time for us to segue into our guest this evening / daytime / morning. We're real transcontinental today. It's awesome. Joining us, our guest, Stoya, is a pornographic actress, model, and writer. She is the author of Philosophy, Pussycats, and Porn, and writes an advice column for Slate, along with hosting her own monthly book club called Stoya's Book Club. As well, she is one of the first and few alt models to not only break through into mainstream porn, but to mainstream pop culture. And her fleshlight remains one of the highest-selling sex and pleasure toys on the market. Please welcome to the show the one and only Stoya.
Thank you so much. Who wrote that introduction?
That would be I.
You have a talent.
Oh, that would be the first time someone said that about the intro.
No, Eric is great at writing the intros. If he manages to get through the whole intro without calling you like
the wrong
Stoya, like, then that is the impressive part about what he just did.
Full.
I've never had Stoya before. I've had Stoya several times. When I was waiting tables, I had I'll take a Stoya on the rocks. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not.
Right.
It does kind of have a vodka, like a Russian vibe. So I do get that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna throw it out here. Stoya, I've known who you are. Like everyone knows who you are for like at least a decade. 5 minutes before you guys hopped onto the Zoom chat, I pulled up a YouTube interview just to hear you confirm your name in the interview. That is how like in my head I get before recording the show with any guest.
No, Eric, it could be like someone named Rebecca, and Eric will be like, Rebecca?
How are you doing? We now have 2 people this great because Caitlin is recording from an undisclosed out of the states location. So are you. What time is it there right now?
For me, it's 10:50. Well, 10:13.
Nice. That is, well, we appreciate you joining us so late in your time. Uh-oh. We got a cat for the listeners at home. Who are we looking at right now?
This is Pixel.
I love that.
That's a very cute name.
There's his face.
That is so adorable.
For the listener at home, there is some very, very good chin scratching going on. Pixel is having the time of their lives, and Pixel is a ginger cat, I believe, with some white coloration on his chest, a little white tuxedo action.
Oh, yeah.
He felt too seen and left, and now there are no longer claws in my leg.
Aww.
I don't know what's happened in the past year, but now when he sees me with the nail clippers in my hand, starts running away.
Yeah, probably there's that's like evolutionary. There at this point, cats know, they see that and they just get freaked out, right?
Yeah, so he's a very sharp, furry creature.
I don't think I've ever trimmed a cat's nails. I've had cats my whole life. I've never trimmed their nails. I just buy them like a ton of things to scratch because I'm terrified of actually trimming them.
Well,
yeah, but they stay sharp that way. And Pixel to make biscuits. So I'm gonna try. I have this little like sanding device meant for fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I'm gonna like try it out of myself and see how that experience is, and then see if I can like get him with a different device. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have to shout out to, this was actually, we debated this on the show recently, like a month ago, but Lacey, my wife, she calls it making muffins. And everyone else, I even took it to Instagram, and it was hotly debated. One of the most controversial things I've brought to Instagram yet was like a poll on if it's making biscuits or making muffins, or making muffins. Everyone said biscuits though. I guess Lacey is in some crazy.
I think yeah.
I did want to, before we get too deep into the weeds here, I did want to kind of talk about your book club for a second, which is actually how we were kind of hooked up to do the show today. Do you want to tell the people at home a little bit about it?
Yeah. So a very long time ago, Chad, I don't remember how to say his name. It's either Kultgen or Kultgen. Wrote this novel about modern sexuality, and it had it's about books, so I'm like uncontrollably going on this massive tangent, but it had an adult having an affair, it had a school kid watching porn on his phone at lunch. It had just like all of these people kind of grappling with what sex was at the time. And I thought it was great. And somehow the publisher ended up asking if I would be willing to do like a video as like a promotion. And so the concept of Stoya's book club was born.
Nice.
And then for that same publisher, it's Adam something. I'm sorry, this was several years ago. Maybe it's not Adam. Do I Google myself? I think I Google myself. Give me a second.
No worries.
Stoya, Paul Dano.
Was Paul Dano a part of your
Flat
book club?
Screen by Adam Wilson. So there was this book, Flat Screen by Adam Wilson, and it was through the same publisher. And they were like, "Hey, do you want to do another weird thing for us with books?" And I'm like, "I'd love to." And Adam was connected to Paul Dano somehow, and I did like the book. So it was like, yeah, let's do it. This will be hilarious. So we did like a comedy video as if I had a book club.
Oh, okay.
But it of course goes like deeply sexual in a porno sort of way. And then the ending is just it's perfect. It brings me so much joy. It was like really an incredible experience. And so then like years later, someone in New York suggested an event and we decided on a book club. And I had a book club in person. It did not go horribly awry.
That's always that's how I view this podcast. It doesn't go horribly awry.
Only sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the pandemic, we started meeting online.
Yeah.
And it's like really like a geographically diverse group. And we get together and we read a book about sexuality. And sometimes it's erotica, sometimes it's one month we did Professor Roland Betancourt's Byzantine intersectionality.
Oh wow, okay. And you also did friend of the show, former guest of the show, Lily Ladies, Quickie.
Yes, and that is how we met.
Yeah. And I think I spied, did you do The Story of the Eye?
We did. That was the very first one.
One of my favorites.
I delivered like a 2-hour lecture on comparing Story of the Eye to erotism. Like I type A, homeschooled, overachiever, that so hard. Then I made my notes into a video that's intercut with the four chambered heart, kind of inspired by video that I did with them.
Nice. And I think, is there like a theme? I was kind of, when I was sitting there, it felt like there was a theme that maybe is reoccurring, which is that you're always seeking to find out. You're always asking the question, it seems like maybe this is done at the end of your book clubs, but you ask, is this pornographic? And it seems like you're finding when does the line cross of what, art is also like copacetic with pornography, or is there like a division? Is there a dividing line? Are they copacetic? Where does it begin? Where does one end? where has that always been kind of like the common theme since that first book club?
I don't think it was there in the first one. One of the core members who like still comes, and he was actually it's the weirdest kind of relationship, like a mentoring fan. So like I started writing and he came up to me at a convention and made like a suggestion that was a good suggestion. And then, you know, like later he was like, you know, congratulations on what you're doing. Have you considered writing a little bit differently? And like,
Right.
And like most of the time, suggestions from fans are along the lines of like, you know, could you please interview so and so, or in prior years, could you please shoot in this kind of material, right?
Right.
So he like stood out from the crowd.
Can you like form yourself to my own personal fantasy? Like, can you fit the box that I want you to be in?
Yeah, like he was just like, hi, I'm in academia.
Oh, that's right. Honestly, that's
help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have been refreshing.
What is happening?
Yeah, did someone just die?
That's them doing construction at my house. Sorry, I didn't say anything because I didn't know. I don't know how much you can hear because it's going on this whole time. They're like pounding on the roof right now.
We haven't heard it. At least I've not heard anything until right then, and I half expected like a stage light, even though you're not in a theater, to fall on your head.
That one was pretty loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like completely accustomed to it, so I have zero reaction.
What
I'm assuming everyone's fine up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this helpful person came to the first book club and gave me useful feedback and kept coming back and kept giving me useful feedback. And one day, I think pretty early on, we all stumbled upon the question, is this literature, is this porn? And
Literature, okay, that was the word. Yes.
He was like, that's a really useful dialectic. And I was like, great, I'm gonna go like look up what a dialectic is and we'll process this information.
I thought that isn't that the thing that Scientologists are looking for with their meters, the dialectics?
Do I have the word wrong?
No,
No.
I'm being facetious. You're right.
Okay. So it became like this traditional thing, and depending on how the first few minutes with the author goes, I might introduce it pretty early on, to get people started conversing. And it was this point of like very much curiosity for me. Like, let's like dig through some stuff and evaluate what it is.
Yeah.
And like maybe like find out what the edges of pornography are. But not against the backdrop of that, because it's really reversed. It's happening against the backdrop of like seeing how much power a United States credit card company has over what is considered porn, what is considered acceptable porn, what is considered unacceptable porn, with very little transparency about their rules with the people who make this material. And it results in this like kind of like economic censorship. So the conclusion that I've come to is pornography is a very subjective term that we don't have a consensus definition of because there's so little communication. So I'm like, okay, book club is still fun, but now my quest goes in the direction of like MasterCard. Can I get like an essay defining pornography?
Yeah,
Need
no
some bullet
shit.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say while you were talking, it seems like the line, at least from where I'm standing, it seems like the line it's like a judgment rather than, a category or like anything categorical. It's sort of an individual opinion.
I go on, sir.
Me?
Yeah.
That's all I had to say.
Oh, sorry, I thought I heard it. Yeah, it's funny because in speaking of literature, there have been certain works that I've read. God, it's just so interesting how everyone has their own, I guess, litmus test and their own kind of point of view of where that begins. Because I've read some work that has felt pornographic that didn't even touch on the topic of sex, but just there was something pornographic about the prose and about the content within, and it's just very interesting, I guess, to me, where everyone gets to, because we're at such a clashing moment, especially with like the hyperspeed that culture has moved with social media, where and I'm speaking kind of purely more from like America, from the States more than anything else, but we're at this place where there's like this quote unquote traditional puritanical thing that still wants to pull to their quote unquote traditional ways, but it seems like the overwhelming society and the overwhelming hive mentality is that, release the nipple, as they say. Like there's just such a, people have become very desensitized to what was once considered pornographic or what was once considered like taboo and risque. Like what was once taboo even just 10 years ago is no longer taboo now. I watch old episodes of television, even just like a Seinfeld or something like that. The Sponge episode, the infamous Sponge episode with Elaine, where she's talking about like her version, like what her favorite contraceptive device was. I remember at the time it was so huge, and now that episode would go over just like a fart in the wind. It would be like no one would even like raise their eyebrow to that. It's just so interesting where the culture is moving, and I can't help but wonder where we're going to be at even just 5 years from now. And it's unfortunate because the companies I just real quickly cap it. The companies at the top, like MasterCard, and the ones who are deciding the fates of like OnlyFans creators and people out there, what like it's just like I always picture like a 12 old white men like in some old castle, and they're the ones that still decide all this fucking bullshit.
So I have an anecdote for
Yeah.
you. One day I was engaged in a flurry of direct messages with one of my OnlyFans subscribers, and he said something about, does my box come with a decoder ring? And then I went to type, would it be around my cervix? And when I hit send, the OnlyFans system told me that cervix is a banned word. So I don't know that we're not necessarily in a bizarrely puritanic, like it's cervix, man. It's cervix.
Wow.
It's literally anatomical. We're not even like
It's like, and it's also like it's a part that you make babies with.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the clitoris, right? Like this is, even if you're anti-pleasure, like I don't understand. The cervix is innocent.
Save the cervix. I like to imagine it's like one like guy who's deciding that OnlyFans, just like this one guy, and like for whatever reason like he has like a real like chip on his shoulder because like a cervix like cut him off in fucking traffic or something. He's just like like because I assuming like they do let you write the word clit right on OnlyFans. Like I'm assuming you can send that word and it doesn't get.
So I had several reactions. First, I went on Twitter and I said something along the lines of, why is the word cervix banned on OnlyFans? Because, sometimes I'm like, screw all of the people who are following along who do not do the kind of sex work that I do. If what I do now is even sex work at all. That's a whole existential discussion to get into. But then I emailed my contact at OnlyFans and asked if they could tell me. Then I went back to the person that I had been DMing with, and I was like, hello, I need to test some things. Testicle, cremas, vulva, labia. I tested all these other words and they all went through. So now I'm like really extra curious what it is about the cervix that is not there with these other words that poses some sort of a problem to, I don't know, OnlyFans's payment processor, MasterCard, the British government. There are so many possibilities, and I desperately want the answer to this question. And I'm trying to figure out who I could convince to publish an investigation into this. Hey, so
Mueller, getting real deep.
Yeah, but one way or another, I'm gonna do this, and it's completely absurd. But
oh, I love it. You should getting to the bottom of the cervix, one woman's quest.
I don't know why I get stuck on odd details like that, but it's like the kind of focal point of the frustration with the whole issue, where I'm like, what is it with the cervix?
Well, it is. How many anatomical parts of the man can you get to until you get blocked? I'm going to guess 0, right? So there is it's in some ways a shade of misogyny in some way, or there is a sort of, I don't know. In some way there is something censored happening with the woman's body on there, just in definition and description, not even showing it, just in describing it. So what's going on, OnlyFans? It's kind of fucking weird. It's a little weird of all words.
Well, it's not even just, obviously it's not just OnlyFans, but I have found on Instagram, not even necessarily sex work things, but because I have OnlyFans, and I know enough better than to post that on Instagram. But I think I was doing a dream circle, and I tried to do a promotion early on, just to sort of see how it worked, because they told me they had given me an ad credit, and I was like, oh cool, I'll promote this and see what happens. They didn't approve the ad, and I was like, because it's dreaming, or I don't know, or is it because I've posted about I don't understand what the issue is here. And then I'm also banned from all the fucking dating apps too, because I used to put in my profile, I wouldn't put the link to my OnlyFans. I would just say and I'm on OnlyFans, and they don't even have my full name. It was more so just to filter out anyone. This was when I lived in Los Angeles and actually had more than 20 men to choose from per month, and so I was I'll just immediately filter out anyone who would have a problem with this, because I don't even want to waste my time. And then I got banned, and I tried to appeal it and stuff, and it wouldn't let me appeal it. And yet men are in there and it's because apparently I'm soliciting, right? But I was straight up just dating, it wasn't I was just trying to get money. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going out with guys that would be lame about that. And then I was also and if I make them just for money, if they find me, sure, great, whatever. But then men will be in there oh, and I do this, hit me up if you want, it's they can totally there's even a networking aspect of some of the apps where you can turn on a work filter and meet business connections. So it's obviously your problem isn't the solicitation of business. It's the solicitation of business that is sex related, which it's sure, but just go fuck yourself for just not owning up to it, and it just, I feel it's all these dudes who kind of low-key / high-key just don't like women, and it's them exercising control through their keyboards, and it's dude, just join the OnlyFans club,
revolution.
Come and just subscribe, man. We'll chat and it'll be fine. But it's what I don't like about it is that it's disguised as like legality, practicality, all these things. And it's like, just say you hate women. You know, it's fine.
I had a Bumble profile and then they took it away for impersonating myself. But it's incredible. You know, they shut down your profile so you can't log into the app to access help department.
Right.
They send you an email to let you know that they've closed your account from a do not reply address. And so I opened up Twitter.
That's what I did too.
I detect a theme here.
Yeah, like this is actually me. Can you give me my account back? And then a few months later, the same thing happened to this very famous actress. I cannot remember her name right now. I am so bad with names.
Julia Roberts.
Was it Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
You're making a joke. Was it actually
No.
Julia Roberts?
I'm making a joke.
No.
Okay, great.
I remember this happening, but I don't remember who it was either.
Yeah. So it's this like, because of the internet, so many people's lives are on public record in a way where there used to be like much more of a divide between celebrities and everyday citizens. And now it's just like really blurry where I'm like, hello, I'm trying to do a normal person thing. And you assume that I cannot possibly be me and don't even email to ask, right?
Yeah, no, they're just like, oh, she's not a real person. That's an actor. Like, okay, well, it can be both.
We are getting into, we actually passed the half-hour mark. There are a couple questions that people sent in, Stoya, that I'd like to throw your way, if you don't mind. First of all, mutual friend Lily can help herself. She asked, if your cats were people, what jobs would they have?
Oh, Widget would be a stripper. He would be a very good stripper. He would prefer working on the floor, right? Like he would not want to be a dancer. You know, like he wouldn't want to like go on tour and be like an act. Like he like enjoys the hustle. He does this thing where he like walks up to people and starts purring.
Oh, just like at the club, like he's good about, like he walks right up and says, hi, how you doing? And just like starts trying to get those scratches. I would dig it.
Yeah, it's like, look, I'm super friendly. I'm so friendly. You have thumbs. I bet with your thumbs you could open a can of food or a bag of food.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's what his favorite is people with long fingernails.
I bet.
When I put them on for a shoot, like he's like, yes. And Pixel would be a freelance writer.
I like it.
He would work from home. He would drink too much hard liquor. Not every night, but like regularly. I don't think he would smoke. He has many opinions.
No, I was gonna say to hurt his little kitty lungs if he smoked.
Yeah, he has many opinions. He likes to express himself, and he's also, you know, very like shy outside of his one person.
Nice, I dig it. I gotta shout out the names like together, Widget and Pixel. Incredible cat
cute
names.
Thank you.
Do you have? Are there more than the two cats?
No, that's it. And they're brothers and they get along so well.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's nice.
What about Prince? Caitlin, what would Prince be doing?
I think it's right in the name. I don't think he would have to work. I
Yeah.
think he's that's not really on his agenda. A diplomat, I guess.
Yeah, or like it's like a diplomat's son, like, you know, like those guys that like really don't do anything because they're just like in the life already.
And like I think he would be a good actual prince because he likes hunting, he likes leisure, he likes, you know, being fed morning, middle of the night, just all times, you know. He absolutely he actually learned in my last house that if I didn't get out of bed like when his first breakfast call was occurring, there was like a bookshelf above my bed and he would throw books down at my head, and that just seems like real prince behavior. He also throws his food bowl off the counter when it's almost empty.
Oh wow, yeah, he's really like chambermaid. You come
exactly
rustling in like, oh my word.
And like now that we're living with the dog too, he's just absolutely dominating her. And so yeah, I just think that there couldn't be like he wouldn't work. I can tell you that much.
Okay, we had like a couple advice questions, Stoya, directed for you. This girl wants to know, I am a poly married femme who identifies as pansexual, but when I attempt to have sex with other femmes with my male partner, I tend to freeze up. I even freeze up when messaging them without my husband present. I want badly to explore that side of my sexuality, but have a hard time getting past an internal block. Any advice?
I mean, we need more detail about the block, right? So the next time, maybe like don't arrange another threesome with your partner right now, because that's like the extreme way to recreate the situation and get more detail. But maybe like start considering to message, and when you start to freeze up, sit with that and ask yourself, what's going on? What's happening in my mind? Like, what are my thoughts doing? What is my body doing? And from there, like, try to be curious about yourself, where it's like, you know, oh, I'm feeling tightness in the chest. What happens if I breathe into my belly a few times? Is there a reason that that's happening? What does that usually mean for me emotionally when it's happening? Like, just like hang out and figure it out. And if it becomes a thing where you feel stuck, it's worth reaching out to a sex positive therapist or counselor or whatever to talk it through and get some like coaching.
Yeah,
that's good advice.
Like, what's the word for like overtime?
Coaching works.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's very good advice. Especially because like could be trauma, could be your fantasy is more in the imaginal realm than in the physical realm, or could be all kinds of different things. So I think that makes total sense.
We got another one here. Someone wanted to know, my girlfriend loves to role play. When we text back and forth, I can really set a mood and turn her on. But when we are together having sex, I feel my mind stalling to think of what to say. Any help for a bad improviser?
Scripts and memorization.
Oh shit. Tread the boards. Go out there and do some Shakespeare.
And maybe it doesn't have to be so extreme as like writing out the entire scene and the exact words that you'll say and memorizing every single line. But it could be bullet points, right? It could be a few key phrases, and I'm wondering how they're oriented while they're doing this. So it seems possible to me that being in the same room might be what isn't working. Like that might be the thing that's different, that is the complication. So there might be ways to kind of like lessen the feeling of observation and intimacy by closing your eyes, blindfolding them, turning the lights off, doing doggy or reverse cowgirl. Like there are like lots of different options to feel kind of in between the distance of a sexting thread and the like, like we're like right here looking each other in the eyes, as like a way to get more comfortable and then get back to connected sex.
Nice. I like it. We got one more of the advice stylings. Someone wanted to know, this kind of feels like it might fall in line with the first question, but they said, my partner is the most wonderful, receptive person, both in the bedroom and out, but I still have a hard time asking for what I want. How do I get over this?
So the partner is generous and the writer does not ask for what they want.
Correct.
Okay. We're going to tread the boards again.
Hell yeah. King Lear. Let's do it.
Yes. So hopefully they know what it is that they want. Right. Hopefully they're, prepared with what they're going to ask for. And then figure out your phrasing, practice it. Like start wherever you need to start to feel okay. Maybe it's, I want you to spank me. Maybe straight out of the gate, you can say, I want you to spank me. Maybe that's also easy. And then you just go like straight to like looking yourself in the eyes in the mirror, like
psych yourself. Let's do this. You got this.
Yeah, do it until you're bored of it.
Oh, that's good.
Like you can add more layers. Imagine your partner standing in front of you, like anything that does like make it kind of like emotionally stoking is not the word I am
triggering or
just like whatever it is that like causes the response that's preventing this person from asking for what they want. Like, and then when you're like, yeah, that's like manageable now, then go ask for it, and the next you want to ask for will be easier. And
I like that. Caitlin.
What?
I was going to just say, you always have good advice too for how someone can just get what they want, which is.
Well, this specifically, I was actually thinking it's almost like the reverse of the previous one in some ways, because I'm like, if I'm having maybe it's a pussy move, but if I'm having trouble face to face in the heat of the moment, especially because I like to be more submissive sexually, so I'm not trying to be like do this, do that. But in all the rest of my life, I have no problem being like I need this, I need that. But often it's like I don't want to just randomly, in the middle of the day, be like, hey, by the way, unless you're sexting. So it's like it could just be something that you text them, and that to me takes the pressure off. And actually, it had recently happened to me that like I had a sexual partner for a while that was not like, like a close, intimate relationship, but like there was something I hadn't really been asking for because the dynamic was what it was. And he like kind of fucked something up. And it was sort of a position where like he owed me a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity for me to be like, you need to do this. Oh. And it was like, yeah, so it's I don't know. Dynamic. That's like probably not the healthiest advice, but it definitely worked,
I was gonna say no. I was thinking what came to my mind for your classic move is like, hey, if you're not getting what you want, email his dad. Subject. What is it? Oh, it's so good. No subject, right? Just hi.
No. Oh, subject is just hey. And then there's no body of the email. And then your partner's going to be on you like white on rice within 24 hours.
Might cause a little disruption in the family dynamics that they're dealing with, but you'll be getting what you want. No time.
It's a kamikaze move. Absolutely.
you destroyed a family. You're like, well, I really want to get spanked. Like, okay, we're getting a little close to the hour mark. So we're gonna do some of the rapid fires real quickly. Stoya, sometimes we just get these ones. They're just kind of, these are the fans we got out here. Your fans, our fans, who knows? They want to know.
Please tell me you're not going to read me anyone's penis measurements in millimeters.
No, millimeters.
Millimeters.
Hey, we're patriotic on the show. We don't even know what a millimeter is. Is that even? Is that? I'm a fucking idiot. I have no idea. Maybe that is actually what we use in America. I don't fucking know. Measurement shit
no,
confused
it's
me.
metric.
Thank you. Do you? I'm a fucking idiot. Do you consider a smoothie a juice or a soup?
What?
Do you consider a smoothie a juice or a soup?
I cannot rapid fire this. I don't think it is either. I think it is fruit. It is a puree.
Oh, okay. I agree. It is a puree. You have to use the puree setting literally on a little blender to make it. I actually, full disclosure, Stoya, I did get sorry, my dog is like swimming in between my legs. No joke. I got 4 different people that all wrote in nearly the same exact thing, which is they wanted to know, how do you manifest confidence? Which I guess that isn't a rapid fire question probably either, but.
No, it's really not. I mean, actually the short answer is you just do, right? And you learn how to project confidence by watching other people who project confidence. Yeah. And, slowly over time, you build your own body language and intonation and sartorial kind of like vocabulary. And that's what comes across to other people is, the way you sit, the way you feel in what you're wearing, right? It doesn't matter so much exactly what you are wearing. It matters that you feel good in it. And also as your life goes on, like ideally you do things that you're proud of. And
yeah,
totally
true. I had a kind of a similar line, and it could be used for confidence. Like it was the conversation I was having. This was my therapist. She gave great advice like years ago. And I was seeking like guidance on a situation, like a family situation basically. And I was talking about how like sometimes when it comes to like family stuff, like I feel myself stalling. And she brought up this great advice, which you can use for like anything. You can use it for confidence too, which was like, well, like think of like a badass movie character or like character in fiction or something that like you look up to that you think would like fucking kick down like the saloon doors and would like handle this situation the way that you wish to. Like, and I was like, okay. And like, she even like had me like write down a couple, and like we did like these little quick like 2-minute exercises, like what each one would do, kind of funny, blah blah blah. But then she was like, you can do that. She's like, yeah, you can, kind of like one of those like fake it till you make it. She's like, you have the capability within you to like do any 3 of those scenarios theoretically, right? She's like, it's, you know, and obviously you make it your own sort of thing, but that's absolutely true with confidence too. I mean, look at the people that you aspire to, if they are confident people, and like what their confidence might look like to you, and be like, you know, you can do that. You have the capability within you. It's just sometimes it's like, you know, we have the capacity to like be the most confident version of ourselves. You might have just not heard the right thing, but like eventually you might read the right self-help thing. You might see the right meme. You might listen to the right podcast, and like all of a sudden like that door is unlocked in your mind. But it's kind of crazy to think like the capacity is there. It's just you haven't heard that right thing, or you haven't stumbled across that right whatever that's going to unlock it for yourself. But even just knowing that you have the capacity, and it's just locked somewhere inside you, sometimes that's like enough to get people kind of grooving.
I think too, the only thing I would even add to that was like, I think for me at least, I used to think that confidence was like a lack of failure, and I think it's more so like the ability to fail and just like move on and learn and keep trying.
Yeah, totally. Gosh, I was like rapid fire, and I'm like reading all these. I'm like, they're not rapid fire. We're gonna end on this one because I really like this question. And this actually comes from my dear Lacey, and I really liked it. They want to know, of all your accomplishments, which is the dearest to your heart?
Clayton Cubitt's hysterical literature.
Where that was the thing you were talking about at the beginning, or is this something different?
No, this is completely different.
Okay.
This is, it's on YouTube. Clayton was trying to get a more intimate portrait. And he had come up with this one way, and he pitched me on it. And I was like, it involved like video and tension and sexuality. And he pitched me on it, and I was, I don't know, 25 and an asshole. And I was like, that's stupid. And he came back, you know, tolerant artiste that he is. He came back with, what about, okay, we're referencing Andy Warhol's The Blowjob. It's black and white. You're seated behind a table. The person.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. And also you're reading a book. That's where the intellect or the mental tension is coming from. You choose the book. And I'm like, great. This sounds awesome. So I thought really hard about what book I wanted to do. And I went with one of 2 stories in Supervert's Necrophilia Variations that came from not clearly a male voice. And I reached out to Supervert, and I was like, hello, I would really like to use this for this. Can I have your permission? And they were like, absolutely. And now we have become friends. I got to be friends with someone that I am a huge fan of.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it's like, I'm really proud of it. It's gorgeous. It's been seen by lots of people.
It is a YouTube must. I'm gonna say it to the folks right now. Like, it's definitely it's like up there. It's in the hollowed halls of like the greatest of YouTube. How do you find it? Like, what would you type?
Yeah, can you repeat the name?
Hysterical literature. You can actually go to hystericalliterature.com, and see all of the videos properly embedded from Clayton's YouTube account, and also read from several of the subjects about like their experiences and motivations.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. I like it. Well, thank you for answering that. We are going to, it is that time of the show. We're at the hour mark where we're going to play a couple quick games before you say goodnight, Stoya. Do you have time for just a few more games?
I do. What are the games?
First one we always play. Do you know the childhood game MASH?
Yes.
We're going to play MASH with you right now.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Okay, here we go. Please tell me, Stoya, if you're just joining us, we are here with world-renowned Stoya. 2 places you would love to eventually live, like the rest of your life at.
An island in Greece.
Oh, excellent choice.
It's Mamma Mia.
Yes, exactly. Exactly that.
And I'm sorry. I don't know why I have to like consider everything for 5 minutes tonight. I want a city. I don't know what city. What cities do I like? What the fuck is wrong with my brain tonight? Let's go with Tokyo.
Perfect. And then what's that place that you're like, this would stink to live at?
Miami.
Oh shit! Shots fired at Miami.
Yeah.
Tell me 2 dream jobs or careers. They could be ones you have currently or not. That you would end up doing the rest of your life. That you'd be like, this is chill.
Writer.
Naturally.
Sex coach.
And then what about like the job that you'd be like, bleh.
Waiting tables again.
Yeah, that's solid. What are 2 of your favorite colors?
Blue.
And
Gray.
Nice. What's your least favorite color?
Orange.
2 dream vehicles that you would get around town in. Any kind of mode of transportation is available.
A self-driving car.
Nice.
Chariot pulled by tigers.
Oh.
Ooh.
And then what's like your least favorite would be like, oh. Caitlin, these are my new ways of trying to say like instead of I'm just making noises. I'm like, oh, these would be like the brr.
I like it.
An angry taxi driver from Philadelphia.
Oh, fuck. I know them. I'm every taxi driver from Philadelphia. 2 dream crushes. They could be real or celebrities are real. We always say that, but they could be like celebrity or people you know in real life that you would end up with.
Celebrities are real.
That's true. Yeah. 2 dream celebrity holograms, whatever you want. That you would end up with.
My brain is fried. Crushes.
What about from your youth? Did you have anyone on your like posters on your wall? Brad Pitt, Legends of the Fall.
The you know the guy in The Fifth Element who's like
Bruce
really
Willis?
No, he's evil.
Oh yeah, it's who's in Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Right, but like not in any of his other roles.
You're talking about specifically him with like the kind of hair, like the black swoop hair and like the futuristic purple look and all that.
Yeah, and like the like cyborg thing going on, and the neuroses,
Yeah.
and like,
Okay. That's one. Gary Oldman. God, I could not think of his name right then. Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element. Okay.
yeah. So there's one, and Shanna Baszler.
Okay. And then who would be the person that you'd be like, oh no, I'm with this person all my life? I had to look up who Shannon Baszler was to get their spelling right. Okay, for those who are like me and aren't cool, it is a mixed martial artist from the WWE.
Yeah, she's really hot.
Yeah, I get it. I get it now.
Yeah. Yeah, that one guy who like I haven't replied to in a very long time, who continues to like every few months be like, hey, you're on this dating app. You wanna go on a date? And like a few months later, like, hey, how's COVID treating you?
Is it Gary Oldman?
I wish. If it was, I would like, please come to Europe and become covered in cat hair. Pixel will rub his fang on your nose in the morning because you think you are me because you are in my bed with me.
Can I get 3 random numbers?
2, 5, and 1.
All right. And then finally, can I get 2 dream animals that would be with you in this paradise?
An ocelot.
Ooh, nice.
And a wallaby.
Oh boy, make me. I don't know how. I didn't go to Wallaby Spelling College, you guys. I gotta look up the spelling.
Why do you have to spell it right?
Because I take a picture and I put it on the old Instagram.
Oh.
And I don't want to be. And then I'd have shame.
I've
right?
never seen you post one of the MASH results.
That's because after the episodes, you're always like, you immediately hit me up. You're like, I'm eating. Good night. You don't see me posting after it.
Whatever.
We check in like a week later. What would be your least favorite animal?
You know those little dogs? They're like really, really, really sensitive to like anything.
Like
someone closed their car door 5 blocks away.
Like a little yapping toy dog.
Yes.
It's also my nightmare.
It would be like when you can't figure out how to shut your phone alarm off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep accidentally snoozing and it comes back, and it's actually at like very specific intervals, but it feels like it's at random.
Yeah. I get it. And I always say this, but when I'm like half awake and half asleep and that first one goes off and I see the word snooze, I swear almost every morning, no lie, I think, what is this French word that I don't understand? Like I'm like snoze, like you know what's sad is that's true. Stoya, I'm going to start drawing a spiral and you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, as I show all of our guests time, this app actually has a little pencil that crosses out all your selections, but we're going to speed it up right now, and I'm going to tell you your future right here, right now. Once you graduate, you'll find work in Tokyo, waiting tables. You'll get around town in your gray, angry taxi driver from Philadelphia taxi. Oh, no. You'll marry Shayna. And you'll live in an apartment with your 2 kids and your ever loyal pet ocelot.
Okay.
That's like a lot of balance. Like I feel like it's like you're not, you're still living a good dream life, It's just like there's some things that driving situation you might want to get under control though. Okay. We are going to do one more game. We end the show every time, as we usually do, with a personality quiz that we find. That's right. We scour the depths of the internet to find the best and greatest personality tests, and boy howdy, this one is no different. Developed in 2011 by Ellie on All the Tests. That's right. We're going back to our old standard website, All the Tests. Who were you in a past life? Scientific studies have found that human consciousness isn't necessarily based in a person's brain. Pretty cool, huh? In light of this, it now seems even more possible that each of us might have existed before this life. Let's find out who you were in a past life. Are you ready?
Yes.
Question 1. These are going to be multiple choice, so I'll throw up my hands. Do you enjoy hard work? Yes, and adventure. I don't need to work hard because I have good fortune. If God tells me I need to work hard at something, I do. No, I enjoy chilling as much as possible. Or I don't enjoy working, but I still have to do it.
Yes, and adventure.
I like it. I like that one thrown in about if God telling you to work hard. Like, who is God in this situation? Is it the dog? And is it telling you, what else is it telling you to do, Ellie?
It's MasterCard.
Yeah, no shit. Question 2. Oh, well, here you go, Ellie. Question 2. Are you religious? Yes, I do whatever God says I should. Oh, boy. No, I'm not. I believe in a higher power, but I don't have a name or definition for it. I believe there are many gods, not just one. Yes, I believe there is only one God. Or yes, God gets me through everything. I feel like there's like 3 of these are the same answer, but Ellie's trying to convert us on this All the Test personality quiz.
I'm torn. I'm torn between the one before. I believe there are many gods. I believe there's. I'm torn. I'm torn between. I believe there are many gods. I believe there is a God. I'm just not sure. And God gets me through everything.
All right.
There's a whole rant to be had about how all of these things are accessing the same kind of like universal greater energy.
Sounds like episodes of this show that we've talked about topics like this. Actually, you're in good company. So
awesome.
But which of these will you say is the one for you?
For the purposes of this quiz.
For the purpose of our God, Ellie.
I'm going with yes, God gets me through everything.
I like it.
Nice.
Our God is an awesome God. Are you superstitious? From heaven above with wisdom, power. Oh, what was it? At my school used to do wisdom, power, and
I probably have it wrong.
No, we used to like have like whole things with it. It'd be like this was strength, this our power, this was wisdom, this was love. We get down in the in the grade school Christian schools.
You gotta incorporate the upper body.
Are you superstitious? Not really. Well, a black cat just crossed my path. No, not at all. No, not at all. I believe in science. I'm superstitious about certain things, but not everything. Or I'm superstitious to the point my friends tell me I just need to chill.
I'm superstitious about some things, but not everything.
Okay. Which is Caitlin, they always do it. Which of these colors group is your favorite? Yellow and blues, tan, white, and oranges, brown and other earth colors, purple or reds, or greens.
Purple or reds.
Nice. What's your astro sign out of curiosity?
Gemini.
Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. Would you? Oh, that's right. You posted something recently. You have a birthday coming up. That's right. I saw you posted on the.
I do. And Fleshlight's having a big old sale. They do this every year. So really, July is when my birthday present comes in. He's there.
Oh yeah, and you also posted that today is International Horse Day. Shout out.
Oh.
Yes.
I did not get a free slushie at 7-Eleven when I told them that.
am imagining you actually doing that.
I would. Would you consider yourself high maintenance? No, I make do with the bare necessities. I would love more luxury in my life, though. No, I have what I need, and I don't need much more. Very much so, and I'm worth it. Or yes, I am somewhat high maintenance.
Very much so, and I'm worth it.
Hell yeah. What color is your hair? I'll let you tell me. Light brown / blonde. I shave my head. I'm not sure. It's too dirty to tell. Strawberry blonde / dirty blonde / medium brown, or dark brown / black.
Dark brown / black.
Do you easily accept people of other cultures and religions? I seem wow, Ellie. I seem like it to get along in life, but secretly I'm not really. Holy shit. Somewhat. Yes, I like them and find them very interesting. It depends on what culture or religion we're talking about. Or no, I can't stand them. They shouldn't even be here. Damn.
Yes, I like them and I find them very interesting.
Ellie went on one. What is your favorite hobby? Golf / tennis / another sport high class people gravitate to. Wow. Singing / dancing. Skiing / surfing / spelunking. Hockey / basketball, football, soccer, or playing chess.
Dancing.
Nice.
And singing.
Is that your cat making that noise?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a noisy little boy. I like it. Do
He's
you like?
he expresses himself a lot.
Oh my gosh, that cat! Holy shit!
Sounds like Chewbacca.
I was gonna say it sounds like Gizmo from fucking the Gremlins and shit. I love it.
Yeah, and his brother makes the same noise. So I took a video actually with Widget. It's more intense. So I took a video of him and showed it to 2 separate vets. And both of them were like, never in my whole life have I heard this. And one of them like ran some tests and he's fine. And then their sister, I know from the cat rescue people, their sister makes the same noise. Because they like emailed me. It's the weirdest thing. And I'm like, mine does it too.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Two more. Do you like to sleep? Yes, I am a human sloth. Only as much as I need to. I'll sleep when I die. Sleep is necessary. Or zzz, like a bunch of Z's, and it says, what did you just ask me?
Yes, I am a human sloth.
Hell yes. Are you interested in history?
Also in good company here.
Yeah. We be napping on the show.
We love a good nap.
Half the time we'll like reach out to each other like, did you do this thing? For the listener at home, Caitlin just had to turn off the thing for a second. And the other one will be like, respond back like 5 hours later and be like, sorry, I was napping. Hee hee. It's like a very common thing for us to say to each other. Okay. Question 10, the final one, Stoya. Are you interested in history? Yes, I like to learn about my country's past. Yes, I'm really into learning about my personal ancestry. My present is so busy, I don't have much time to think about the past. I love history. It's my favorite subject. Or I don't know much about it, and I'm not really interested in learning.
I love history. It's my favorite subject.
Nice. All right. We are going to throw it now into the Goth Yearbook calculator. Oh my. Roll out the red carpet because you were once a king or queen.
Oh.
You might have ruled around the time of the Renaissance. You are probably a very enlightened, cultured, accepting person who is interested in classical music, the arts, and different cultures. Chances are you ruled one of the 3 most populous and influential countries of the time. Lots of perks, they said, and you might very well have a rewarding job with a lot of responsibility because your past life experience has prepared you so well.
Wow.
And now I'm waiting tables in Tokyo. But I'm married to Shanna Baszler.
it's like the Prince and the Pauper type situation. It's like you're seeing what's like to live that life for a while your twin is living it up in some castle with the real Gary Oldman. All right, well, Stoya, that is actually all the time we had. That was a blast. Thank you so much for being willing to come on our show, play our games, answer the questions from the listeners, and all the good stuff. Before we get going, is there anything that you'd like to plug? You just mentioned a birthday thing going down.
Yeah. So Fleshlight's having a sale, 10% off. Use code JUN girls at checkout. And I probably shouldn't say this, but it's actually everyone who has a June birthday. So if I'm not your type, like there's an array of people to choose from.
A whole platter of Geminis for you to go through.
Yeah. And I don't remember what my affiliate code is. So just, and there's the How to Do It column on Slate where I give advice. So if you liked my on the spot advice, then perhaps you might also like my advice where I have time to think it over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, yeah, thank you so much. Seriously, it was a blast. Again, I do want to point people towards that Slate article. I actually had several people also reach out when they saw that you were coming through the show, and they mentioned like how influenced they were by that article and like how much they look forward to it and all that. So definitely y'all go check it out. It's some real good schnip. Caitlin, is there anything you'd like to plug before we get going?
Not at the moment. I'm too tired to know what I even have going on at the moment.
Nap life. Hashtag nap life.
I'm here to plug my nap that I'm about to take.
Same Z's. We're all about to go to bed, everyone. So on that note, Stoya, thank you so much. Thank you for the people that submitted the questions. Thank you for the people who are going to be watching this on YouTube when it goes live on the broadcast tomorrow night. Thank you, Caitlin, as always, for being the co-host with the Mo-host. I'm going to say the good night to the both of y'all. Good night, guys.
All right, good night. Thank you so much, Stoya.
Yeah, thank you.
I had a great time.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Recording stopped.